So I'm paying $45,000 to watch another man take credit for raising you. Today, we're taking one single, intensely dramatic source.
A story that it has just become this viral flashpoint.
Exactly. For every argument you could possibly have about blended families, entitlement.
And, what commitment really truly means.
Yeah.
And we are not going to be neutral on this one.
Not at all.
So the narrative, it's been floating around online as Table 10 and the price of paternity. It's an emotional pressure cooker.
It really is. At the center, you've got a 48-year-old stepfather, his 24-year-old stepdaughter, and this just astronomical $45,000 wedding bill.
And the conflict, on the surface, it's shockingly simple. This stepdad, he raised the daughter, Sarah, from the time she was 3.
3 years old.
When the big day comes around, she picks her biological father to walk her down the aisle.
And this is the guy who was, absent for over a decade.
A complete ghost. Then comes the real insult, crystallized in one detail. She asks the stepdad, the man paying for literally everything, to sit at table 10.
Table 10, the distant relatives table.
So our mission today is to unpack this, not just for the drama, but to really get into the absolute necessity of self-respect.
Right. When commitment gets mistaken for, unconditional surrender.
Okay, so let's set the foundation here. You can't grasp the explosion without first understanding the investment.
The sheer magnitude of it. We're talking about 18 continuous years, 18 years of active, hands-on parenting.
That sustained commitment it's the structural backbone of this entire story.
Yeah.
The source is very clear on this. The biological father walked out on them.
Walked out.
Paid 0 child support.
Yeah.
Didn't call on birthdays. He was just gone for, as you said, over a decade. He left a vacuum.
And the stepdad filled it. But he didn't just fill it with money, though. The money is a huge part of this.
Oh, absolutely. But it was his actions. He says it himself. I raised her, I coached her soccer team, and I paid for her entire college tuition.
Let's just pause on that for a second. College tuition.
That's not a small thing.
That's a massive statement. It's an explicit investment in someone's future. It's taking responsibility for their success.
Exactly. It's the opposite of a sunk cost. He saw it as this long-term contract of love. He even says, and it sounds so genuine, I consider her my daughter.
So he commits his time, his emotions, his money, and it all culminates in him agreeing to pay for this huge, lavish event costing around $45,000.
Out of his and his wife's savings, by the way.
Right. So he's paid for her past, he secured her future with education, and now he's funding the launch of her new life. That is the bedrock of the emotional contract here.
A contract built on 18 years of him showing up.
And that depth of investment is what makes what happens next not just insulting, but it's just devastating.
Okay, so here's where it all goes wrong, the pivot.
This is the moment the temperature in the room goes from, 0 to 100. It happens over this, incredibly awkward dinner.
Yeah, Sarah, the stepdaughter, she finally drops the news.
The first bomb is that the biological father has recently reached out.
Which is, okay, that's awkward enough. But it's what comes next, the audacity of it. She isn't asking for 2 fathers.
No, she's announcing a replacement. She asked the man funding her entire life if he would mind sitting at table 10.
Table 10. You just hear that number and you know?
It's Siberia. It's the table where you stick your mom's weird cousin. He was asked to be a regular guest.
A regular guest. And get this. The justification was all about protecting the feelings of the biological dad.
Oh, this part is infuriating.
She apparently said that having the stepdad at the main table would make the bio dad feel uncomfortable and guilty about his past.
So let me get this straight. The comfort of the guy who chose absence for a decade is now more important than the dignity of the man who chose presence for 18 years.
Yes, that's the calculus.
At that moment, he stopped being a parent. He became an accessory. He wasn't a father. He was an emotional ATM.
A wallet with legs. That's it.
Exactly what he was. A wallet with legs.
It's the pure definition of transactional disrespect. She got the money locked in, and then she tried to rewrite the terms of the relationship.
She basically said, your money is good enough for me, but you are not.
I value your 45 grand, but I don't value your identity enough to actually include you in the main event.
18 years of coaching soccer, saving money, paying tuition, all of it, just tossed aside for the comfort of a stranger who decided to pop back in. It's an incredible act of emotional fraud.
And that just pushes us right into the core of it all, doesn't it? The philosophical debate at the heart of so many of these blended family dramas.
The DNA delusion.
That's a perfect way to put it.
Yeah.
The difference between earned respect and just. biological obligation.
And you can hear the injury in the stepdad's reaction. His first question, it just says everything. He asks, "So I'm paying $45,000 to watch another man take credit for raising you?"
Oof. That question is the sound of a man's entire parental history being erased in one sentence.
And her response just pours salt in the wound. She snaps back at him. "You're being selfish. He's my real dad, and he's trying."
The word real.
That word, the moment she says real dad, she cancels 2 decades of commitment.
We have to stop right there and just say it. We have to make a strong statement here. DNA does not make you a father.
No.
Showing up does. Day after day, year after year, when it's hard, when it's boring, when no one's watching, that makes you a father.
The biological father was trying now. Now that she's an adult, she's successful, she's having a huge party. Where was this trying energy when she was, I don't know, 7 and had the flu?
Or 13 and needed help with homework. It's easy to try when all the hard work is already done.
So for the stepdad, the painful takeaway is that his 18 years of actual effort,
Yeah.
it was just secondary. It was a placeholder until the real dad decided to show up for a cameo.
And if you try to be charitable, maybe you could say the daughter is, trying to heal a wound. She's seeking validation from the man who rejected her.
But in trying to heal that old wound, she creates a brand new, much deeper one. She sacrifices the dignity of the person who actually actively loved her.
Which brings us to his response.
And the genius of his response is how measured it was, how quiet. He didn't scream, he didn't yell.
No, it was calm. It wasn't an emotional outburst. It was a firm, logical decision based entirely on the terms she set.
He just took her definition of him, that he was just a guest, and he followed it to its logical conclusion.
He then delivers the most incredible mic drop. And this line, it should be etched in stone for anyone who's ever felt used by family. He stands up and he says,
"If I'm just a guest, then I have no obligation to pay for the host's party."
boom, that's it. That is ultimate justice.
It's perfect, because it instantly reestablishes the transactional nature of her insult. She made it about a transaction, 45 grand for a seat in the back.
So he says, fine. If it's a transaction, then both sides have to hold up their end. And you just broke the deal. He refused to pay to be humiliated.
And he didn't wait around. He didn't stew on it. The very next morning, he writes that he called the venue, the caterer, and the florist, and I pulled my credit card. He canceled everything that wasn't non-refundable.
That is a massive act of self-respect, a colossal act. He used the only leverage he had left to protect his identity, and he made it crystal clear that his love and support were not a bottomless resource.
It was a contract of mutual respect.
And she broke it.
So he takes action. He sets this huge boundary. But the story doesn't end there, because the fallout reveals this second, even darker betrayal.
Yeah, the betrayal by his wife, the mother.
The reactions from the 2 women are so telling. Sarah, the daughter, is calling him crying, saying he's using money to control her.
That phrase, using money to control her, is a complete inversion of reality.
It's insane. How is it control providing $45,000? That's a form of control in a way. It defines you as the sponsor, the primary figure. Withdrawing it after you've been insulted isn't control.
It's accountability.
It's accountability. It's basic self-respect. You don't get to monetize a relationship and then devalue the person who's funding it.
But the mother's reaction is, for me, the real villainy here. She wasn't just quiet. She turned on him. She was screaming at me that I'm petty and I ruined her daughter's big day.
Hang on a second. That money, that 45 grand, it came out of our savings. She signed off on this. Her own financial security was tied up in that check.
But the moment her husband's dignity was on the line, she instantly sided with the daughter. Her priority wasn't her partner.
No, her priority was the big, lavish party and her daughter's entitlement.
She enabled the whole thing. By letting her husband be downgraded to table 10, she showed that she fundamentally valued her daughter's shallow fantasy over the man she built a life with.
That's a deeper cut than the daughter's rejection. The daughter is young, maybe naive, but the mother, she's his partner.
And she chose to protect the feelings of the absent ex-husband over him. It forces you to wonder if his role in that marriage was also defined by his utility. Was he the provider, the stabilizer, but not an equal partner?
He didn't just cancel a wedding. He pulled the curtain back and exposed the massive fault lines running through his entire family.
So this deep dive into Table 10, it really offers a harsh but a necessary lesson.
It really does. When your commitment is only valued financially and not relationally, you have every right to protect your resources. Both of them, the emotional and the financial.
It's a powerful reminder that you have to set boundaries when love is being, weaponized against you or treated like this endless one-way street.
The stepdad was generous, he was dedicated, but when he was downgraded from father of the bride to guest, he simply exercised his right. He withdrew his sponsorship.
And in doing so, he demanded a relational currency respect that was totally missing from the equation.
And that leads us to the final thought we want to leave you with.
Given the wife's reaction and the daughter's entitlement, this couldn't have been an isolated incident, right? This was the big explosion after years of smaller disrespects.
It had to be. So, we ask you, what is the unseen emotional cost of always being the bigger person? Of always taking the high road in a situation that is crying out for you to prioritize your own self-respect? When do you stop enduring slights for the sake of family and start demanding respect for the sake of your own dignity?
Think about where your own boundaries are. This man was generous for 18 years, but his greatest act of generosity in the end was to himself. He forced a confrontation that revealed the truth.
Until next time.